8:30. At this time, I'll call the March 8th meeting of the West Memphis Utility Commission to order. The first item on the agenda is the February 9th meeting minutes. You received in your packet. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Holmes, second by Ms. Brown. Any further discussion or additions? I have something, Danielle, I would like for you to do with not a lot of trucks. When we buy a truck or a vehicle, put down what part.
Yes, sir.
You got the amount and everything, but I'm just looking what we buy this for. Okay, do we have any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Minutes are approved. Next item is the, excuse me, February safety report.
Good morning, all. Okay, we have had a recordable injury here at the end of the month, February, so that reset us. Our days without lost times at 8, and recordable was 8 days ago. So that brings our year-to-date injuries to 1, and of course, we're early in the year, so our incident rate's going to be pretty high with so few hours worked in the year. We're at 5.5. And then I went on and figured up, like I always do, the additional hours up to this date. It brought us down to 4.9. So if we stay relatively injury-free throughout the year, that number will continue to come down. All right, our monthly safety meeting was slips, trips, and falls, pay attention. And that's basically what this topic was, just be situationally aware when you're walking and traveling on uneven terrain. Just had some bullet points there of things to look for to keep you from having a slip, trip, or fall. One other thing that I've got, we did our dielectric testing with the electric department trucks and tools a little early this year. We did that in February. We had 15 units that got tested, and nothing major showed up on it, and I think it was 325 tools and rubber goods that got tested, and we only had 2 failures on a couple of rubber blankets that take quite a bit of abuse, so we did real well on that, and we already got that done pretty good. Other than that, that's all I've got. Anybody's got any questions?
Just curious, what was the nature of the injury?
It was a sprain from a back injury. It ended up with a shot, so it was reportable, and then because of that, it was a day off.
Any further questions? Discussion? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
At this time, we're going to start a new era in the West Memphis Utility Commission. Our new general manager is fixing to update us on some project.
Thank you, Dana. Good morning. Happy to be here. Appreciate the opportunity. As I say, we've got a long history of providing some of the lowest utility rates, not only in the state, but in the Mid-South, and I look forward to continuing that legacy. So, thank you. I wanted to update you on our fiber project, and going forward from now, we'll probably get into this in a little more detail, because we're nearing we ordered material back in August, and we're nearing the end of all the deliveries. I can't believe it's taking that long, but that's the world we live in now. We will soon be doing training and be running our first lines out. We'll be connecting all of our facilities with fiber. We've got one supply contract with Lumen. That's a national provider. I've never heard of them before. And we've signed a second contract with Windstream, and they will have us connected in less than 3 months. So we'll be able to start lighting up some areas with fiber in about 3 months. And we've got first customer, industrial customer lined up for it. So hopefully in the next few months, we'll see a lot of movement on this. Do you have any questions on it? Like I said, we'll start providing more detail as we get into the project. But for right now, okay. Thank you.
Okay, the next item is discussion of forming committees.
I wished I had gotten this done in time to put it in the packet. I apologize that I didn't. Make sure I got it. We've had a pretty busy week. Thank you. For the first time in 45 years, the Utility Commission will soon be faced with recruiting a general manager from outside. Because as happy as I am to be here, time's not on my side. I will be looking at retirement now. Not right away, but I mean, that's that'll be something coming up soon, and I don't want to wait till the last minute to work on transition, because the board, the commission, has really been, a lot of confidence in the general manager, because it was somebody we all knew, who lived in the community for decades, and who knew the community well. But with a new person, more than likely coming from the outside, I was thinking it might be helpful for the new person if the commission had become a little more involved in what we do. And to that end, I was going to suggest we form some committees to do that. Any board I've ever been on has had committees, and just wanted to throw that out, and not asking for any action today. Give you this, and we could talk about it next commission. But just to get the discussion started, I was going to propose a search committee. And again, not that we're going to start that right away, but what I'd like is to work with some commissioners on job description, things that y'all think are important for the managers to have. And then we want to probably do a search for a recruiter, go through setting that up, and then interviewing candidates later this year. And my hope is that we can identify someone before the end of the year, and they can come in and we can have a multi-month handoff process to get the new person situated right. So that would be one. Another one is a building committee. Now, some of us have been here for decades, walking here every day, and the building looks the same. But some of the newer members may come in and go, why did they let that happen? Or why isn't that fixed? And I thought it'd be helpful to have some new eyes, some eyes in general, just to go through the building. We do need some repairs. There's some comments that the outside could look better. And so instead of me sitting back making all those decisions, I thought it'd be nice if we could get a group of commissioners, get an architect, and we've met with this architect a couple times before, but we need a little, I guess, help keeping the project moving forward. So I would like people to think about that, commissioners to think about that. Then would suggest a projects committee. And everybody knows we're busy, but I thought it'd be helpful if once a month I met with a few of the commissioners. We go through in detail the projects that the commissioners decide. We let them make a report at the monthly utility meetings. Don't want to belabor it, don't want to go into minute detail, but make sure, I think everybody is aware of the various projects, but it might be good to see them all at once, to really understand what all is involved in what we're doing. And then another committee would be the Power Committee. And this is, and again, don't need everybody to be an expert, but I think it would be very helpful for everybody to understand what's involved now. Back in 2000, when I was the general manager, then we were a regulated industry. We just signed a contract and got our power. And now it's deregulated, and it's far more complicated than that. And to give you an example, we have a contract where we get 32 megs of power from our power units. The Entergy and the Interstate has gone from looking at the power annually to looking at it as 4 seasons. Because over the last few years, climate events have really disrupted some of the power grids across the nation, and providing power in the spring now is a different challenge than providing power in the summer. And Entergy has gone back over 3 years to make some averages, and the short version is we're coming up short. We're supposed to get 32 megs from our units, and because they've been down, or coal supply problems, or rail problems, or things that COVID caused, we're short. And we're having to calculate how much we're short. And the reason it matters is our agreement with NextEra is we provide 32 megs, and if we don't, we have to go out and buy it. And that's where we are now, is we're facing, we go out for auction, or do we go out for a bilateral purchase? And we're not a market participant, so we have to hire someone to do that for us. And we've been talking to Jonesboro, they're a market participant. They may have some extra, we may be able to work out with them. But this is just one small example of what we have to do now to keep our power on. And I think it would be good for the commissioners maybe to hear about it from someone other than me that may get into the weeds too much to explain it. So I'll throw this out as some things I'd like you to think about if you want to call and talk about it later or whatever. And I'd like it to be an agenda item for next meeting. Any thoughts, questions?
Well, one thing I'd like to say, if you've noticed, there's 7 of us commissioners. So we're going to have to be on multiple committees. So be thinking what you would like to do and what you'd be interested in. And because this is something new that we're trying to do. And
we'll be sensitive to your time. I don't want to eat up a lot of your time. Some of these committees are going to take more time than others, so, yeah.
Well, if you think about it, though, you got 4 committees suggested. The search committee's task will be hopefully completed shortly, and we'll move into the back burner kind of thing. The building committee possibly would be a little more active in the first year or 2, and then after that, it'll subside some, you would hope. Projects and power, I think the power committee is probably the most important, just based on what I'm seeing. And I noticed your last paragraph, I can do all the tasks mentioned above, but as utilities will see the West Memphis, finding the number of vacancies you have, working knowledge is not being passed on. And I think this is a great idea to address that here anyway. Hope it works.
Yes. Well, we'll try something. If this doesn't head us in the right direction, we'll make a change. And to your point on the search committee, I don't know if you noticed, we didn't talk about the vacancies. I mean, that happens every month. It hadn't changed. And I'm hoping that one of the other things the search committee can do is let's brainstorm on different ways. We have a couple critical positions that have been open for a long time, and what we're doing is not working. So we might want to hear from other people on how they've filled vacancies and what other efforts we could try. Because we got to do something else.
get too personal, what kind of timeline do you think we should look for finding the general manager?
I would like maybe by the end of the third quarter, early fourth quarter. My original intent, tell everybody, was to retire February 1st, 2024. I'm not leaving this, this organization is too important to the community. Been here too long to walk away from something and not take care of it. So I'm not leaving until it's in good hands.
Good.
Now, tell me if I'm wrong, this power committee, you mentioned Jonesboro a while ago, they had 4 or 6 people that did nothing but buy and sell power.
In fact, their committee was meeting yesterday to see if they could sell us some power. So yes, they have at least 4 people on that committee.
And that's just a division of their utility, buy and sell power. They'll buy power and sell it to somebody else. And we, right now, got 1.5, I guess. We're traded 2 people. So, anything else?
Thank you.
Hope the water pump works.
Oh, so let me just touch on that, since I brought that up. The flood, the pumping station is that ours, but we operated. We're building a new control building that we've been working on for 2 years because the other one got swallowed by a sinkhole. You go through the history of why it's not operational, but it's under construction, but they've had to tear out the old building. So we have a huge trailer-mounted generator sitting down there that runs the pumps, and they're diesel, and so we're constantly going down there filling up the fuel truck. But we've been running the pumps. The pond is pumped down. Just go ahead. When the river's up high, the levee board wants water in the pond. The river's low, so we're keeping it pumped down constantly. So we're running the pumps a lot more than we normally would, just because these series of storms. So if anybody asks, yeah, the pumps are on, they've been working, and the pond has been pumped out.
So you said the levee board wants it low when the river is high.
They want water in the pond when the river's high, to keep the pressure, the high water pressure from blowing the sand.
Undermine.
Yeah. So we know what elevation they want, and we can keep water in the pond and keep ahead of it.
I guess my question is that our gentleman's agreement, is that requirement, is it statute or law, or do we have to do that?
Yeah, we have to do it because we had to get a permit or something from the Corps, and we want to do it.
Oh, well, right, but it's not like we're just arbitrarily deciding to do that, there's reasons.
No, there's an exact elevation
Yeah.
that we have to, they're gonna ask, keep it at this elevation. And the weir and everything's set at that elevation. So, but it's low, and we can pump it down for all we're worth right now.
We have no restrictions.
And even when we have water in it, the pumps are, the station was designed with this in mind, and we can operate. It's just, this gives us a little bit of comfort level.
There may be some people on here that don't know that flood project should be called the Ward Wimbish, what he designed.
Actually, yeah, it's got a plaque with my name on it. Fortunately, it's not the memorial.
Right. For many years. But when he talks about that, he knows that.
It was designed with that in mind.
Yeah, in and out, so he knows what he's talking about. Anything else? Any comments?
No, quick question. The last time I checked, the river was 30 feet. What's your magic number? 36, 38?
I don't know it off the top of my head, but it's up that way. Once it gets up against the levee, and it's coming up the levee, like a few years ago, it was like 3 feet above, below the top, we definitely kept it full. And there's relief wells in there, and the water does come in, but it comes in controlled. And so it kind of, it's designed to kind of self-level. So we don't, we don't have to be down there 24 hours. It is, so it self-levels.
Any other questions? Tracy, as our city council liaison, you can attend any, when we get them set up, any of these committees you would like to.
I'm here to help you way I can, so.
We don't want to exclude you. You have bad.
I'll be believing.
You have bad
Ladies down
information.
here.
Do I have a motion to adjourn? Have a motion by Ms. Brown, second? Second, who was that? Mr. Felton, all in favor? All opposed? Stand adjourned.